Hello, and welcome. It's Corel here in VSC, and I have a little bit of a special, unusual thing today. It's been a good couple weeks, I think, by now. I started another game on the server. I started out by putting a couple of signs right here next to this ladder, basically saying, did you guys notice how crazy that storm was last night? It looks like maybe a ship has crashed on the beach. I haven't had a chance to go over there and look at it. And you can kind of see a little something going on over there. So I'm going to run over there and show you what it is. So running up on this beach here, you can definitely see these little things piled up on the shore. And you can see that it even kind of goes into the water there. So you've got, clearly something has crashed here or washed up on shore. Clearly being like, use your imagination here, because I did place this block by block. So if they were to pop in here, it's full of sand and, rotten stuff and a book. And then if they come around here, you got this barrel and another book. And because I happen to know where everything is at, I'm also going to pop in here. I believe it's this one. Just some random stuff, but Longbeard's tunic is an important piece of this story. I have not yet communicated that fully to the players of the game at this point, so I have a feeling they'll be back to get that. But anyways, from there, they've got a couple books to read. This is the first one. I mean, it could be that they got them in a different order, so really I tried to make it so it didn't matter what order you read them in. And this is just a sea log, for whatever that means. Unfortunately, when I wrote this one, I didn't calculate my dates correctly because they set sail on May 27th. But then the next day, he says that it's been rough seas for the past week. So I guess you're going to have to interpret that as before they even set sail, it was rough seas. I don't know. My bad. Just kind of goes through, saw dolphins, I'm homesick, it's colder, it's rainy. Another page missing, and then different handwriting appears. Somebody talking about people being sick, mentioning a direction considered to be Zet, and then Zuth, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Longbeard took jump in the night, ? Last seen bunked due to illness, found on deck below mast. Just kind of keeps going, and then it gets a little bit funnier. Waters turn in the eve, darkness from cease, tide lower than usual, heavy rain, which the two of those things don't make sense together. Then it's just me now, no food for days, ? Don't know what day it is, thought I saw ice. Also thought I saw a lady riding a cow. This guy's not making sense anymore. Another day, Longbeard visits me every once in a while. He says, beware the low tide. Then all of a sudden, it's a completely different handwriting. It says, all shall be well. There's a heart, and it says Lady of the Sea. And in parentheses, strawberry fields forever. Everything else is empty, except, randomly, this poem appears. A rose is a rose. According to the lore, it's been said there are 4. Each holds a piece of time, should you choose them to find. Did a chum, did a chi, is the rose a key? From rags to riches hide, Longbeard escaped the low tide. There was a lady on that cow, that's where the search begins. For now, you'll need a few things of which you mustn't bring. You shall craft what is needed, should all instructions be heeded. Dot a crumb, dot a key, be patient and all will be revealed. The rose will lead you to Strawberry Field. Of course, somebody signed it, you can't tell what the name is, and you get more information as you go, right? So that basically, in case you read this book before you read the other book, enjoy. Now, before it gets dark and I get in a dangerous situation, I'm going to run back over to the ship and get this next book going. Alright, so the other book that they would have gotten, that original shipwreck, it's titled Mysterious Find. Note, you will find along with this details book, another book, Lewis's Deckmate Log, Log 12. That book holds the hook for the game and a single vague clue. More to come, so don't be discouraged. Basically because they didn't get any clue that's going to lead them anywhere, even though it's kind of still a clue relative to the game. Also in that book, you'll notice a second author called each direction an odd name. Ironically, the beginning of each name is the coordinate reference, and I tried to keep the name similar to northeast, etc. So Zet is west, Zeus is east, Zuth is south, and Zor is north. It's weird, I know, but it works. Each step of this quest will be set out over time, so you won't be able to get too far at once. Sorry. This helps to keep your clues in order. Good luck. I think because of the way that I worded things, they were under the impression that there was something they were supposed to go find, and of course they couldn't find it because there really wasn't anything to find yet. But after they had a chance to sit on that original, very cryptic bit of information, I let them know that it looks like part of that shipwreck has washed up on the original spawn island. So this was, at least some days later, if not like closer to a week, where they were just curious about what in the world was going on. Sent them here. There's another barrel, and it had a book and quill inside. There was also an acacia log sitting next to the barrel, and the book did tell them to take that log. And it actually told them to punch it. Saying, so it begins, punching wood on the original spawn island. If we were to progress in that such manner, there is one reasonable area to go. It's certainly a cryptic clue that most people would not necessarily get. Am I lost? But basically it leads them over here to the Heartlands. Once there, head about halfway to the sheep, hang a left to find something sweet. There are two options which way to go. Only one holds a clue. Once you find it, you will know. There's a sugar cane there, which obviously would be sweet, but then there's also the bee area up here, so you've got honey and stuff like that. So I'm kind of hoping that would possibly throw them off a little bit so that they might have to check both places, or just like feel excited if they picked the right one first. So in here, there was this setup. Oh, I'm picking up sugar. Take 12 sugar cane and read the clue in the chest. And there was another book and quill in here. So they had to, go in here, grab 12 sugar. Where can I actually put these? What? How does this work? Oh my gosh. Wait a minute. We've got a problem in here. Guys. I had to deal with this sugar farm, so I'm gonna catch more, aren't I? Oh dear. Yeah, I had to put a bunch of sugar in here because everything was backed up. But that was the clue. Now I'm gonna change the sign. Back to it. The book that was in this chest with that sign that did not used to say this did have a word puzzle in it, and it was pretty short. Just said one word plus one word equals one longer word. And then there was word 1, color. Roses are red, 64 makes a stack, unless it's 16, and the void is blank. Well, hopefully that one is easy, black, right? So the word 1 plus word 2 is going to equal one longer word, so our first word is black. So word 2, and the hinted parentheses, is famous Disney John. The rest of the clue reads, and it's a quote, it's in quotations, I know a man with a wooden leg named blank. And then the quotation marks end, and then there's another quote, and it says, excuse me, what's the name of his other leg? And then there's a little, thing in parentheses that does say that that's from Mary Poppins. So unless you just happen to know that quote from the movie, it might be a little bit difficult. But I did give them permission to go ahead and Google it. So I don't know if that's what they ended up doing or if they knew what I was talking about or what. But the answer there was Smith. When you put the two together, you get blacksmith. All right, so I sent them here to the blacksmith. I kind of in love with all these little villager buildings. And so once they're here, there was a sign saying something along the lines of, you got to find his compass. So you can run around the house trying to figure out, okay, where's this compass? Where's this compass? And it just so happened to be that that is a hidden barrel. And then you get further instructions. So this one tells you basically, like, you got to make paper with the sugar that you got from the sugarcane farm. and use that with the compass to make a map. And then the log that was chopped down at the beginning, original Spawn Island, gave them planks, and they used those planks and a couple of paper to make a cartography table. And then I gave them a clue that basically told them, like, put a T in power, something about cartography blank, and that would be this tower. It was kind of a weird clue, I think, if I remember correctly. But basically, it sent them here. And this chest at the time said something about, like, put everything in here, basically. They put the empty map that they made in the cartography table, all that good stuff, and waited. I have everything, written out, like, ready to go ahead of time, but the problem is you can't just instantly put it out there, especially if you're building stuff like a shipwreck to go along with it. The next steps were a book in this chest, and actually I'm not sure there was a book. Anyway, they got a map, not the one that they had done before. Their empty map was in here as well, but they got a different map. So they had their empty map in here and a map that was supposed to have a green marker. I solved that basically by giving the coordinates and telling them, take the map that's filled out that was supposed to have the green marker and take the empty map and go to these coordinates. So these are the coordinates pretty much that I've provided for them, that I did provide for them. And they go down in here. The map has led you here, even though in the end it was actually the coordinates. And it says, take your empty map and reveal what lies north. So then they take their empty map and go north. And when they use their map to fill in the area, it should have looked like this. And as you can see, there's a little bit of a plus sign, X marks the spot type of a deal. There's the X marks the spot in the sky that reveals in the map. And it looks like they just kind of dug it out, which is appropriate. The ghost of Master Frog screams murderer. There's boots on that armor stand that were from Master Frog. And a book in here. So, but who is Master Frog? The book that was in this chest explained about the code. I made my way back to Spawn, by the way, if you can't tell. The book that was in the bunker room with the map with the green marker was called More Finds, and it continues as such. Our mysterious friends speak in a dialect of English that is just enough unfamiliar that things don't always seem to make sense immediately. Who would have thought that Zuth meant south? Stranger yet, this dialect has purpose to use general items as symbols. If you pay attention and be patient, the code can be cracked. The code will slowly be displayed as examples around VSC that should help reveal the true meaning of the symbols. This code is made of Minecraft blocks. In order to make it clear that you have encountered a code example, it will be marked. As always, good luck. So once they followed got the empty map to the X and dug up all that good stuff, they got this book, Deckmate Log 17. Obviously, this dude doesn't spell as well as the other one. So he's just talking about his trips. He did mention everything's usual except for beard brain. And you can make your assumptions on what he means, keeping an eye on that one. He continues on about Lewis. Something's been off with the wind. Beard brain, whatever his name, Jones, even more weird than ever. Pages are torn out, as we've seen before. And then that same handwriting that we saw after the torn pages in the last Deckmate log. It says, one day I'll find his dang tunic. A key is a key. Including what is already with you, remaining, there are now 2. Each holds a piece of time should you choose the rest to find. Did it chum, did it she, is the cow a key? From rags to riches hide, did Longbeard escape the low tide? Rumor has been told that it was foul play. That's the last that shall be said of it today. Be patient and all will be revealed. The rose will lead you to Strawberry Field. Again, can't make the signature out of who wrote that. So those were the 2 books that they got from that task. At this point, most anybody should be pretty confused about what's going on here, and that's relatively intentional here. This here, if we swim over to it, is code example number 1. So the glowstone and the cobble are not part of the code. So you get a pumpkin block, stick in an item frame, and another pumpkin block. I'm pretty sure, from what I've been told anyway, they're catching on to what this is about. Stick in the item frame is actually meant as a divider because that's coordinates. And the reason why it's such a short code example is because that block right there that it's sitting on is 0, 0. So hopefully that's not a spoiler if they see this before they've figured that out. Oh, it's Halloween. So just before I continue on, just a quick little, I did turn the front of the ship heart into a little ghost face. All right, here is, whoopsie, here's the next code example. These item frames, hopefully at this point or some point relatively soon after seeing some of these examples, it becomes clear they're not really part of any of the symbols used. So that's a negative. You've got coordinates here, another negative, coordinates there. Each block stands for something different. And that'll become handy later to know what it stands for. Okay, so at this point we are fully caught up to where they're at in the game. They have, those 3 code examples, and now they have this, ahoy, a book. And it's another book and quill. For your next steps, look to the sky. There's a chest with another book nearby. Seek not the vast blue overhead, closer to the blue of the sea instead. Don't reach the clouds, no, and the water is too far below. If you haven't figured it out by now, ask the first mate. Whether or not he'll respond is up for debate. I kind of messed up that rhyme, but I think you understand. So, yeah, hopefully that's not going to be too confusing, considering we always shortened Skywalker's name to Sky, and it's not a very hidden chest, and if all else fails, this guy's name is first mate John. So that should help hopefully. And then they get another book. So it's called Have a Little Help from a Friend, Skywalker. Across time and across seas, things fade and wear. Some parts of the story are missing, though some are still there. You have followed strange clues, and you work now to crack codes, but you've been given little information on where it all goes. It just so happens I know all about this game. One of the things you seek even bears my name. Before you go any further, I will fill in some gaps. There's only so much you'll get from some books and those maps. The original 4 were protectors of lore. They served the Lady of the Sea, and yes, one of them was me. Longbeard, too, loyal through and through, till his last day, when he was betrayed. Master Frog was the first to enlist. He was made captain of the original ship. The first of many crews the prince sent out in turn. Unfortunately, however, none of them would ever return. The prince wanted to know how things connect and why, like interdimensional travel, infinite worlds, and the concept of time. He also didn't know about Longbeard, Frog, myself, and Jake. For ages, we've protected the forces in place. I was the last of the 4 to carry this tradition. They all met their fate in the hands of resistance. Now you will need to fill in for me. Your task is to restore power to the Lady of the Sea. Don't get too bogged down by the storyline. Just focus on getting the armor combined. The leather that made it was from a magical creature, and sure enough, altogether provides a wonderful feature. Lady of the Sea or Lady on a Cow, both the same? You can wonder for now. And what about that rose? Go underneath it and you will then know. It is there the path will be revealed, the way that will lead you to Strawberry Field. In order for you to progress, I will need to share how to find the next chest. Just go to the tunnel that has the orange wool. If you can't get it from there, you might be a fool. Just kidding. There's a reason that makes sense. Just go through the correct portal and take a look. My treasure will be there along with the next book. Good luck. Hopefully that's not too cryptic. I didn't mean to call anybody a fool either. It just, it rhymed. So I'm not gonna be too careful about this, but I'm also not gonna be completely revealing. We have the white tunnel over there. You can kind of see the white in there, and then this is the orange tunnel. We haven't really done much with the other two tunnels yet. Alright, so I've come back to my base area. I don't actually have really a base yet. Still, again, insert whatever number of attempts here. Yeah. I will let you know what they will find when they figure out that clue. Another message. Another message from Sky. I couldn't do a game with a seafaring storyline without a nod to Skywalker. He dressed like a pirate after all. You've been good sports about this journey so far, and I do hope it has been fun. At this point, you have one last item to seek, because they'll be getting an item when they find this book. And then you will be led, as promised, to Strawberry Field. I've heard said in old stories, should the time come and the need present itself for the armor to be combined, she will reveal a sacred place where she has stored up riches for those who are loyal. Da-da-dum, da-da-dee, maybe you are the key. It won't be long before you find your next set of clues ready and waiting. Good luck. So hopefully at this, stage in the adventure, they'll have gotten enough information to not feel completely left in the dark, but also still a little bit curious about more. But I'll leave it there for now, and hopefully be revealing the end of the game sooner than later. And of course, as I round this out, happy Halloween. Stay safe, have fun, and thanks for tuning in. Bye.